Father, is to lock ourselves up in the room to pray that we remove our own demons, dear Heavenly Father, and only then can we remove the speck from our brother's eye. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of ZNS TV 13, and by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition. A double shooting leaves one man dead and another injured. Murder victims to be remembered. A civic organization promoting healthy lifestyles. And in sports, Devin Charlton sets a new national record. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jumanita Swain, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for tuning in. The Pinewood Gardens community rocked by a double shooting this afternoon that left one man dead and another fighting for his life in hospital. From some reports, the victim may have been at the wrong place at the wrong time. Our Devontae Hanna picks up the story from here.
A very bloody Sunday evening as police investigated the scene of the country's latest homicide here on Walnut Street in Pinewood Gardens. That victim, we are told, believed to be in his 20s. Police say that he only came to the island to attend the funeral of a relative that was shot and killed in the latter part of last year and was a resident on Grand Bahama. Now, the other victim in this double shooting has been transported to hospital where his condition is unknown at this time.
We are actively pursuing two males who are responsible for this incident, who were in a Nissan vehicle. One of the males was armed with a high-powered weapon, the other with a handgun, and they opened fire on the two males, which resulted in one of the males succumbing to his injuries on scene.
Now, police did make a call to action to residents and to parents to teach your children how to resolve their conflicts, saying that these issues and the past several homicides have stemmed from bad conflict resolution.
Parents, I go back at you. These are your children. These are our children. When we fail to rear our children in the home, when we fail to discipline them in the home, when we've lost control of them in the home, it spills over into the community. And that's what we see happening. I have to admonish parents who have young children now at home to ensure that you do your part as a responsible parent and train your children. Take your children to church. Teach them the word so they can hide it in their heart. So when conflicts arise, they know exactly how to respond.
Reporting from the scene of the country's latest homicide for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
Police looking for a gunman who approached a male and stole his blue 2008 Hyundai Tucson from a church's parking lot on Bacardi Road Friday night. Police say the victim was inside his car when the ordeal unfolded. The gunman left the area in a northern direction along Bacardi Road. If you see this stolen vehicle or have any information, contact police at 911-919 or the Criminal Investigations Department at 502-9991. The Prime Minister has declared January 23rd as Families of All Murdered Victims Day. Head of the nonprofit organization, Candy Gibson, says this will be the second time the day is observed, and she encourages everyone who has lost a loved one to murder to come out and support the event. This comes a week after the National Day of Prayer observed in Rawson Square with a view of seeking spiritual guidance to combat crime. Gibson is calling for as many persons as possible to attend the service.
We would also want to extend and invite to everyone
who would have lost a loved one to murder. This is a day when we're going to remember our diamond. Yes, they were our diamond. And so we're asking persons who would have lost their loved one to come on down January 23rd, 2024 at New Covenant Baptist Church, located on East-West Highway, Nassau, Bahamas, at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., where we'll have a special prayer service for families who would have lost their loved ones to murder.
In the coming weeks, motorists can expect more beefed-up patrols and targeted operations in hot spots in the country as the Traffic Division of the Royal Bahamas Police Force seeks to reduce the level of lawlessness on our streets. 51 motorists in Grand Bahamas cited for various traffic infractions during a major operation in the nation's second city this weekend. In other news, new to the role of oversight for the Disaster Risk Management Authority, Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, Leon Lundy, outlining the new course it will chart. Referencing insights from Hurricane Dorian, Lundy notes that it called for a more refined approach on natural disasters.
To enhance our efforts in serving the community, NEMA, the National Emergency Management Agency, the Disaster Reconstruction Aid Authority, and the Disaster Management Unit are merging. So, under the new authority, emergency services will be improved to better assist the population with the responses to natural disasters. For example, humanitarian relief must meet international standards regarding food and nature, health, water supply, sanitation, and shelter. Also, highly vulnerable persons, such as women, children, disabled persons, and older adults will receive better care.
Now, Lundy notes that the new Disaster Risk Management Act 2022 mandates improvements in early warning systems so that residents have adequate time to evacuate, reducing risks to lives and property. He also thanked officials from the Inter-American Development Bank for their tremendous technical support in the establishment of the new authority. Well, still to come in the weekend edition, a first-time event held locally for skilled professionals. The details of that and other stories after the break.
ESE Distributors, the #1 wholesale beauty supplier in the Bahamas, specializing in hair products, accessories, and makeup. A variety of skin lightening products, Keratin, Natural Bright, Pawpaw, and personal toiletries, like soaps, creams, lotion, and oils. Hair products like Got2b, Red One, and everything in the Morphos line. And lots of hair. Afro Kinky, 3X Ghana, crochet hair. We deliver and ship to the Family Islands. ESE Distributors, located on Soldier Road opposite NCA.
You know that duck eggs are more nutritious than chicken eggs? Well, today we're going to meet a couple who specializes in duck egg production. I'm Leah Cooper, and this is Good to Grow.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. Cause if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
But they're not just your average backyard farmers. These two have been able to develop a niche in duck egg production that has quite a number of locals flocking to their doorstep. An operation they've named Beat and Teach Farm.
My name is Kiaj McKenzie.
I'm Shantice McKenzie.
This is my wife.
He's my husband.
And we are some of your young local farmers. We were into chickens before, and we wanted to see what we would be able to do with the ducks. One of the things that we initially noticed was that the ducks are a more hardy bird, so they're less susceptible to diseases, parasites, and things of that nature.
So what's so special about duck eggs in comparison to chicken eggs?
When you talk about omega-3 and fatty acids and stuff like that, good cholesterol, this is all included in the duck egg. If you speak to persons who bake, the duck egg is a more dense egg, and so you would see a significant difference in the use of the duck egg compared to the chicken egg.
Mackenzie also tells us what the feedback has been from their customers.
We had a number of persons who tried it for the first time, and they became consistent customers, which is a good thing. We had persons who say, hey, it was a little strong for them, or it was a little thicker than they used to. But all in all, it wasn't bad reception. It was positive reviews. We were glad that persons caught on to it.
And from producing these duck eggs, Mackenzie says they've been able to tap into a delicacy in the Asian market.
So it's something they call balut. What it is the development of the embryo in the duck egg. And so we'd allow them to sit on the egg. They brood the egg, and once that happens, within a 15, 16-day period, we collect the eggs, and that's a specialty dish for them. You know, they look at it and they consider it an aphrodisiac.
Now it was time to get to work. We began by collecting the duck eggs. Then it was time to feed the ducks, who, by the looks of it, seemed eager to eat.
And then some in the middle. Right out. Push it. Throw it. Yeah, throw it. Don't worry about that. That's okay.
And finally, it was time to see what all the hype was about surrounding these duck eggs. The Mackenzies fired up the stove and allowed us to make a duck egg breakfast burrito.
When I just like the chicken egg, I really don't taste the difference.
That's what we tell people.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you season up whatever you season, you can make duck taste like chicken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would eat this. I would eat duck eggs. Tastes just like chicken to me.
Mackenzie also shared with us the plans he and his wife has for the future of Beat and Teach Farm.
How persons understand that this domesticated bird can be readily available to anybody. That would be a second part of our venture, which would be the meat. But at this time, it's just getting persons to understand that there isn't that much of a difference. There are other means of eggs that you can consume and that are still delicious while also being healthy. It would be my vision, because our kids, they are workers, and we were fortunate enough to send our workers to school today. So it will be our vision for them to continue to grow, learn what they could learn, and be able to pass that on to their generation.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Stability, security, and access to top-tier skilled professionals, the very three things any investor wants to be assured of when choosing the Bahamas. Add to that, keeping up with advanced technology in a fast-paced environment. Maintaining what Economic Affairs Minister Senator the Honorable Michael Alquitas today called the country's jurisdictional success then requires everyone. And that's where the Caribbean's first and the Bahamas' only professional Caban trainer, Andrea Pratt-Smith, comes in. Pratt-Smith hosted the first in-person Pro Caban, a revolutionary project management strategy workshop in the Bahamas. The inaugural event held right here in the capital.
What it is a lean, agile principle, a concept that reduces waste. And we know that in project management, a lot of waste happens in projects running over budget and also having a lot of waste issues as far as not being adequately managed. And so Kanban visualizes the flow of that work so that we can know where there's errors in our processes and we can make those improvements more timely.
Minister Alquitas called Pratt-Smith's accomplishment one for which everyone can be proud. Sponsoring the workshop, Deltec Bank and Trust. The minister sees such corporate collaboration as reiterating and reinforcing the importance of project management.
Project management is an area that touches on just about every aspect in the world of business and commerce. The role of project managers is a critical one as it aids in business efficacy and complements the government's efforts to promote the ease of doing business in the Bahamas. And this ultimately supports our jurisdiction by showcasing to the world that not only is the Bahamas open for business, but we are also well equipped with the infrastructure and a pool of talented professionals who are well trained, poised, and positioned to ensure an optimal business experience.
What do boot camps and running businesses have in common? Well, they both require a lot of skill and hard work. And it's also why officials at the Small Business Development Center decided to bring the two worlds together, creating a 4-week program for entrepreneurs to thrive. Here's Anthony Smith.
For the young and inspired participants of this Saturday morning boot camp, the competition is on.
We came out epic this morning in great numbers, as they would say.
The work rigorous and the competition stiff, yet it's not the all-out war you think it is.
But just an imitation of what life really throw at you when you're trying to start business, especially as a young entrepreneur.
It's all a part of the Small Business Development Center's Young Innovators Boot Camp, a 4-week interactive training program created to engage business owners, providing skills to help them navigate the entrepreneurial landscape.
We're hoping that as a result of this boot camp, the innovators would have networked with each other. On top of gaining the training experience, they're also able to access funding. So part of our Innovators Boot Camp, they are eligible for a standalone grant up to $10,000. And for some people, this will give them the funding that they need to start or expand a business. But
while learning from the experts in the various fields and each other.
Being around everybody here, we could get to engage and exchange numbers and exchange thoughts and ideas.
From there, we now share our information from each field that we work in, and we're able to help one another however we need to. You understand? So that's the great thing about networking, and you get to meet so many different business models. You learn from them how they run their operation, and it can help you.
And here's how.
They have to apply what they learn in the form of challenges. So they don't just come to a training session, absorb the information. They have to apply it, and that's through the team challenges, and then we grade them, and then the adjudicators give them feedback based on where they fell short, which teams were stronger in certain areas. So they're learning through application.
For the next 3 weeks, these young business owners will use the skills they've gained to go head-to-head against competing teams in challenges, with the 5 top teams left standing to face off for the Young Innovators Boot Camp Ultimate Grand Prize. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Anthony Smith.
The Gowanus Club of Cable Beach giving back to the local community in a big way over the weekend with its annual community health fair, Gambier Village. Our Desmond Sanders was there.
A recent report from the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization found that 31.6% of Bahamian adults, close to 1/3, were deemed obese. A vicious cycle members of the Gowanus Club of Cable Beach is hoping to erase with its 4th annual health fair in the Gambier community. Gowanus Club of Cable Beach President Conliffe Green.
Service has always been at the heart of what I do, and I believe as a citizen of any country, as a citizen in the country, you should seek to give back and seek to serve. And that is one of the reasons why I first became a part of Kiwanis, because Kiwanis is a part of a global organization that provides service to the children of the world. And I'm an educator. I've always been giving back. I've always been serving. So Kiwanis just provide an avenue for me to give back, an avenue for me to serve, and an avenue for me to try and make this place that I meet here, this world, a little bit better when I leave.
The Gowanus Club of Cable Beach teaming up with the Rotary Club of West Nassau, the Patricia Minnis Foundation, and the Gambier Development Organization to provide residents with free health screenings, dental checkups, and healthy meals. Director of Community Services at Rotary Club West Nassau, Alston Bain, feels the event is paramount.
One of the key roles of Rotary is to assist, service above self. And when Gowanus reached out to us, it was a no deal, so we had to come in and, assist as best we could with this health fair.
As the Bahamas seeks to reduce its $1 billion food import bill and achieve greater access to proper food sources, Member of Parliament for Killarney, Hubert Minnis, and his wife, Patricia Minnis, hopes this initiative could somehow spark a revolution.
Within the Bahamas, we're a very unhealthy group of people plagued with obesity, high blood pressure, cholesterol, etc., diabetes. And Gowanus comes in annually and run this health fair, doing blood tests. They always have a doctor present also, so that if anyone If they discovered anything more serious, the doctors here to deal with it and then refer them to the appropriate individuals. And it has a great impact on it because people talk about it, people look forward to it, all the kids come out. And surprisingly, the residents in the community, they partake in the health program.
Today, what the Kiwanis is doing here is just phenomenal in that they're making all of the adults who are here as well aware of healthy living. And so a health fair in this area is very well taken and it's a good thing for the community.
It's a message organizers hope can permeate throughout the Bahamas. The health of the nation is the wealth of the nation. Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
A Bacardi Road religious organization welcoming members of the Broadcasting Corporation this morning. Their visit to the Western New Providence Church, all a part of the corporation's annual church service. Here's Anthony Smith.
It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are.
It's as David says in Psalms 122:1. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord.
We have a special group of visitors today.
The staff of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas finding themselves outside of their headquarters on Rusty Bethel Drive, gathering at Life Changers Ministries International to give thanks for the year ahead.
We wanted to start our year right. I don't care how much strategy you have. I don't care how many good employees you have. If you want ultimate success, you have to look to the Savior for ultimate success. And so we've come to look to Jesus for ultimate success. We believe that we have victory because we are connected to the victor.
Their visit capping off a 3-day staff conclave.
We wanted our staff members to really come and commit themselves, not only to God, but to rededicate themselves to what we do every day, being our neighbors' keepers, being our brothers' keepers, helping one another out, and see how best we can, as a media entity, to not only spread negative news, but spread the good news.
The members of the corporation look ahead now to a transformative year with new tasks and programs at the helm, and with a charge to do as Bishop Valentino Williams said in his sermon, raise the standard in the Bahamas.
Look for the atmosphere to be regulated this year because we are going to step up to the plate and do what God has commissioned us to do.
With a refreshed mind, a renewed heart, and a refocused spirit. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoine Smith.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
In the Yellow Elder Garden, Allie and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the Yellow Elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Allie dances in her Yellow Elder costume. We are alive.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Sunday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports news. Bayman hurdler Devin Charlton continuing her blistering start to 2024. The Olympian would set a new national record time and take the world lead in the women's 60-meter hurdles, clocking 7.75 seconds at the Texas Tech Corky Classic yesterday afternoon. She would hold off American Tia Jones, and her training partner, Messiah Russell, would finish in second and third, respectively. This is the second week in a row Charlton has taken the world lead, just after she would storm past the field last week at the Rodman McCrary Memorial Track Meet in Lexington, Kentucky. Still on track, the 2024 Carifta Games right around the corner, with roughly 20 athletes here at home already qualifying for the annual Easter meet. We caught up with the president of the B3As yesterday on the sidelines of the DTSP Wolfpack meet, who gave us an update on how the team is shaping up, as well as his expectations.
The word is out. You know, we had a banner year last year at the Carifta Games. We perhaps did better than we had ever done since 1984. I expect nothing different. In fact, I think that the team is more fortified than before. And so we're expecting to show up and rock, shake down Grenada when we get down to Grenada.
In baseball news from Freedom Farm to the major leagues, 17-year-old Rohan Culmer officially signed on the dotted line as the newest member of the Washington Nationals yesterday. Culmer putting pen to paper surrounded by his family and friends at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium. Culmer, a right-handed infielder, the latest in a slew of young Bahamian baseball prospects that signed with major league organizations in the past week. And speaking of Freedom Farm, the nearly 4 decades-old baseball program gearing up to start its 2024 season. League holding its official opening day march and festivities yesterday at its field out east. We spoke with founder Greg Burrows on what we can expect.
Stiff competition, plenty discipline, the involvement of people, particularly the parents, coaches, and just a good time. But the teaching of baseball, and you know, that's always in the forefront of this program. But just building good citizens. Just building good citizens is what you will see, and we continue to do that.
Still on baseball, Mario Ford has long been a staple in the local sports scene with his baseball program. We popped on over to Windsor Park, where he gave us this update on how his boys are progressing.
Now this year we're looking at doing something different. Beginning March, we are putting teams together. We're going to start play right here on Windsor Park. We're going to have about 8 or 9 teams, maybe more. So we're going to work in conjunction with the Community Baseball League. So we're putting teams together, and we're playing 15 and under. What the kids need is, we need to be playing so that they can improve. So every Saturday we come here, we go through the basic fundamentals, the fielding, the hitting, base running, game situations, sliding, all those different things make it a game aspect. And then after that, we finish with the skills. We do inter-squad play. We mix it up. I have the older guys playing against the younger guys. So in that way, what they will do is they will learn the game at a better rate.
And that's when we look at your sports on this Sunday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
From various schools throughout the Southern New Providence School District were engaged in an experiential learning experience hosted by Columbia University professor and founder of a Hand in Learning STEAM Showcase initiative, Ms. James Etta James.
The background for a Hand in Learning STEAM experience is all about hands-on collaboration and reaching the students where they are. It also stems from where I've learned how to engage in learning about technology from a hands-on perspective. Maybe I have my engineering background. I know that I learned a lot using my hands. So I wanted to kind of provide a safe space for students to be able to use the skills where they are comfortable with.
The showcase encouraged many students to pursue a career in the sciences, mathematics, engineering, and technology-related fields.
And it also gave us a more wider perspective on what we want to do, because most of us in here now are 12th graders. So we're already about to go out into the world, into college. So after this, I know that a lot of us have gotten a different outlook on life. So we could, if we desire to go into this, we know, hey, this is what it's gonna demand.
It was a very fun and challenging experience throughout the day so far. I've completed numerous challenges. I didn't win any, but I tried my best. And this has increased my desire, because when I don't achieve something, when I fail at something, I want to get better in it. So that has increased my drive to push farther for more knowledge and education in this field.
Jonalie McIntosh for Ed Talk.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jiminita. We have mostly cloudy skies. Temperature a cool 70 degrees. The relative humidity 64%. We have northeast winds at 13 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,024.8 millibars. That's 30.28 inches. And your temperatures around the family of islands this evening. Marshall, Abaco, 63 degrees, 62 in Green, Key, Abaco, Freeport, Grand Bahama at 62 degrees, 66 in the Berry Islands, 68 in Alizon, Bimini, 68 also over in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eustis, 71 degrees, 72 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros, in Alizon, Cat Island, 72, Black Point, Exuma at 74, 74 also in Camp Space on Andros, Fresh Creek and Central Andros at 72. We pick it up 76 degrees in Georgetown, Exuma, Rumkey, 72, San Salvador at 72 degrees, 73 in Crooked Island and Clarence Sound, Long Island, also Crooked Island, Ragged Island at 73 degrees, Ackland 75, Betsy Bay may go on to 75, Matitown and Nagua 78, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. We have boating forecast for all areas through Monday. We're going to have some very strong winds out of the east at 20 to 30 knots. Very rough sea conditions. They're going to be anywhere between 7 and 10 feet. Low tide takes place at 10:39 tonight. Another low tide at 11:48 tomorrow morning. So we're asking boaters to simply stay in port. And then our satellite pictures showing that stall out from the boundary, still providing some cloud cover across the northwestern parts of the country. And our forecast for tonight calls for windy conditions with some low stratiform type cloud and just simply cold tonight. Low temperature 59 degrees. And tomorrow we're looking at cloudy and breezy, 73 degrees for your high temperature. Extended weather forecast looking like this. We'll get rid of the clouds as of Monday. Tuesday is looking pretty nice in terms of our cloud cover, and that will continue throughout the remainder of next week. But we could have some showers working their way back into forecast on Thursday, and that's courtesy of yet another weak front system, which will change temperatures just slightly as we head into the weekend. Jiminita.
Thanks, Basil, and that will end the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.
I am the God who stood before the world was framed. The first, the last, and everything between. I own your future. Who could know these things but
You're watching the ZNS Network.